Hi, British Literature students. Welcome to the fall 2016 semester of English 21-22, British Literature from the Romantic era on up through the 20th century. I am Mr. Smith. I will be your tour guide as we explore the wonders of British writers, and we have to have some British history in there to understand some of what's going on with the British writers. This is a class that I'm very excited about. If somebody told me that I couldn't teach anything but one subject in all of English, this would be the subject I would choose. So you are really in a good spot by being in this class. And I'm excited about it, and I really hope that you start feeling that excitement as we go through the semester. And we start reading some of these authors, and we start learning a little bit about how writings that were written back in the 1800s and the 1900s, which may seem old to you now, still have relevance today. And that's what I really hope you're going to get out of this semester. Alright, so what I want to do in this welcome video, I'll be posting little weekly videos every Monday morning. So whenever you sign in on Monday mornings, there should, if you sign in after say 7 a.m. or maybe as late as 8 a.m., but usually you should have a video waiting for you when you sign in on Monday mornings. The only exception that I can think of right off the top of my head is Labor Day weekend. I'm going to post that video on Tuesday, but there'll be a little note on there to remind you of that. So what I really want to do for this welcome video is a couple of things. One of the things I want you to do after you finish watching it is to explore the website. You'll go into the syllabus folder, you'll see the syllabus in there, and you'll see the schedule in there as well. You'll also see the course policies and whatnot. Go through and take a look at what slideshows are in the PowerPoint slideshow. We're not going to go through all of those. So for example, we're not going to read Seamus Heaney this semester, but we will go through most of them, and those slideshows will be helpful to you as you get going. You'll notice that you'll have to do postings every week. They're only 2 to 3 paragraphs. They're not really all that long. It'll probably take you longer to read the material than it will be to write about the material if you do it properly. Go through. There's an MLA folder. There's all kinds of folders in the D2L page that can help you succeed in this class. I've tried to put everything I can think of in there. I've been teaching this class online now for about 5 years, so I've kind of over time, as I've learned that I need to add things and whatnot, have been adding them. There may be something that's not in there, but I'm not aware of it. And if I do become aware of it, it will end up in the website very quickly. So take the time to look through that after you get done with this video. What I want you to also do is to open the syllabus. In fact, what you might want to do is hit the pause button if you haven't got it already, and open the syllabus so that we can go through it together, and I can talk about that. So I'll pause for a second while you hit the pause button and open that syllabus up. Alright, I'm back. Okay, so I'm not going to go through every word of this syllabus. I really don't feel like that's necessary, but a lot of this stuff is stuff you can read on your own, but I do want to hit a few highlights. Alright, so there's my office. If you happen to be in the Albany area or Leesburg or Baconton or somewhere nearby, you can visit me in my office during my office hours. I'm almost always in there. If I'm not in my office during the required office hours, I am probably doing something having to do with this consolidation that's happening between Darden State College and Albany State. I am on an operational working group. I'm also on the executive board of the Faculty Senate. There are several reasons why I might be called into a meeting regarding this consolidation, and I wouldn't be in the office during that time. But for the most part, I should, during these hours that you see listed on the syllabus, be in my office. You can also call me on my office phone. That office phone is at the top of the syllabus as well. I will answer, and if you email me, you can pretty much expect a quick request. Now, one of the best ways to email me is through this D2L page. I do check both that page and the Darden page, which is the one that's at the top of your syllabus. But if you go to the D2L page and send through that email, you can usually expect a pretty quick response, especially during daytime hours. Now, let me say this. If you send me an email at 2 o'clock in the morning, go to bed and expect an answer in the morning. True story. I had a student one time send me an email. I think it was around 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, something like that. Sent me another one a half an hour later. Sent me one like 15 minutes after that, another 5 minutes after that. And about the 4th or 5th email, this student wrote me back saying, "Are you even reading your emails?" Let me go ahead and answer that question. If you are sending me emails at 2 or 3 in the morning, no, I'm not reading my emails. I will read that email when I wake up. but usually it'll be pretty early in the morning. I start teaching classes at 8. Sometimes I try to answer an email or two before that if I can. So those are the best ways to contact me if you need to. Course description, course policies you can read on your own. Course data you can read on your own. The textbooks. It is a 3 textbook set by Norton. It is the Norton Anthology of English Literature. Now this is only one of the 3 books you're going to need. And it's not even the first one, it's the second one. The reason I'm not showing you the first one is because I left my book within my puppy's reach when she was in her chewing stage, and it is now missing the cover in about the first 10 pages. So, lesson you can learn from that. If you have a puppy in your chewing stages and you plan to sell this book back to the bookstore after the semester's over, do not leave your textbooks within reach of the puppy, because the bookstore will not take back a book that's missing a cover in the first few pages. But that little disclaimer aside, it's a 3 textbook set. So this one is covering the Victorian age. The first one will be volume D, which covers the Romantic age, and then volume F, which covers the 20th century. You do need the textbook, because some of the readings we have are going to be excerpts out of much larger works. For example, when we get to Virginia Woolf, when we read a little tiny piece of her book, A Room of One's Own. You don't want to go through all of A Room of One's Own and try to guess which section we're going to be talking about in the class. I also chose the Norton textbooks because Norton, unlike many other book publishers, actually tries to make their books affordable. You're getting 3 books of some of the greatest literature written in the English language for, I think it's $75. I wish that biology textbooks cost $75, or other textbooks would be so cheap. So I'm trying to make it easy on your budget. Of course, you still have to spend the money. And if you rent the book, you might get it for like half that. So if you rent the book, don't leave it within reach of a chewing puppy, and make sure that you return it on time so they don't charge you the rest of the book price. So this book, I put the ISBN number on there so that you'll get the right ones. Sometimes people might order the 8th edition instead of the 9th edition. This one's the 9th edition. So if you use the ISBN number, if you go into Amazon, or use the ISBN number if you go into books.com or rental.com or wherever you go get your books, you should get the right one by using the ISBN. It's just like a barcode on anything you go into the grocery store and buy. You know how they scan those barcodes right across the reader, and that because of its specific number, it's a package of tomatoes or something like that. ISBN numbers work the same way for books. So that's why I have the ISBN number here on the syllabus. All right. Attendance. This is what we call an asynchronous class. You don't have to sign in at certain times and listen to me lecture to you. I'll have these videos posted every week. I'll also have the slideshows, and I'll also have the drop boxes and the discussion things and everything else you need online. You can do it at your own pace. So if you're a morning person, you can get up first thing in the morning and sign in. If you're raising 3 kids as a single mother, you can do this work at 11 o'clock at night. It doesn't matter. So do expect to fail, though, if you don't sign in frequently. At least twice a week minimum. That way you'll know what you're supposed to be looking for in your readings, and then you'll be able to post your postings and whatnot. Alright, withdrawal. No show doesn't apply to you because you're watching this video. Makeup work, I do it on a case-by-case basis. If the reason that you haven't been turning in your work is because you say you've been too busy, you're not going to get a lot of sympathy out of me. However, if the reason you haven't been turning in your work is because you can document that you're taking care of your sick mother, my first response would be, why are you taking my class instead of taking care of your mother? But then, beyond that, I can work with that. In fact, I've got several documentations listed here. I know your favorite might be the release records from jail. You laugh at that, but I have had students present me with those records and say, I haven't been able to turn in my assignments for the last 3 weeks because I've been locked up. We can work with that. We can, people make mistakes, people get caught, people have to serve their time. We can work with that. We'll get you going. All right. So, no, and it says here in bold. I put it in bold for a reason. After an assignment is 3 weeks late, it will automatically receive a grade of 60, which is really a D-, not an F, regardless of the quality of work, unless the student has made prior arrangements. So you'll notice it does say unless the student has made prior arrangements. But I am teaching too many classes, and I am also in pursuit of my own degree, which is a PhD in English. I'm not going to have time to go back and grade work that I should have graded 4 weeks ago. I'm going to be very impatient with students on that regard. So make sure you turn your work in on time if you don't want to have to deal with late penalties. The evaluations, weekly postings, you will be posting 2 to 3 paragraphs a week on the readings. Some weeks I may actually have you doing 2 postings if I can't figure out a way to combine the authors. So, for example, the weeks when we have the Brownings and then we have the Industrial Revolution, there's no real way to combine those two except for perhaps with Elizabeth Barrett Browning's poem Cry of the Children, which is why I have those two. The Brownings, by the way, were a married couple, Robert Browning and Elizabeth Barrett Browning. I have them in the same week as the Industrial Revolution because Elizabeth Barrett Browning's Cry of the Children actually had some impact in helping getting child labor laws passed during that time. So there will be postings. There will be 3 exams. They'll all be multiple choice. They'll all take you less than 30 minutes to take. And they'll be open book even, so you should be fine on those. And then the research paper, that's the big project, and that's the one that can make or break it. So make sure that you take this research paper seriously. We won't do that till the end of the semester. I don't think we start the research paper until around the end of October. So it'll be mostly postings and readings between now and then. All right, plagiarism. I do want to say don't plagiarize. I have all kinds of documents in the MLA folder about plagiarism. You don't want to plagiarize my class. You are much better off turning in a D paper and getting that D on your paper than you are to go copy and paste something or to go purchase a paper from one of these websites like eCheat. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know right there, right? eCheat.com. You're better off turning in a really lousy paper that you have written than plagiarizing in my class. I take plagiarism very seriously. I have chaired the Academic Honor Code Committee where I have led hearings that other teachers have brought against students for plagiarism. I take it seriously for this reason. If you're one of our nursing students, and I'm assuming there might be some nursing students in this class because Darton has an excellent nursing program. If you're a nursing student and you cheat in my class, and then I end up at Phoebe Hospital and you walk into my room to give me my medications, if I remember that you cheated on a paper, I'm going to wonder how you got the job as the nurse in the hospital. Did you cheat to get that? And are you cheating on my prescriptions? So cheating is something that may seem very unimportant to you, but to me, I take it very seriously, so don't cheat in my class. And then the extra credit opportunities. I've had to put this in because I got tired of answering this email at the end of the semester. If you don't do the work all semester long, and you send me a desperate email at the end of the semester that says, Mr. Smith, I know I haven't been doing my work. I've been busy. Can I please have extra credit so that I can at least pass the class? There's your answer. No. What you do when you ask me for extra credit at the end of the semester is you are asking me to take on extra work to help you pass a class that you didn't take seriously throughout the entire semester. I am not going to give you that opportunity to make me work harder. So, there it is in my syllabus. Extra credit opportunities, they are very rare. They do occur on occasion, but they're extra credit opportunities that I give to the entire class, not to one student. And they usually are designed to maybe add a couple of points to your posting score or something. They are not designed to help you pass a class that you are failing. So, let me just say this about your grade. Today is the beginning of week 1. Week 1 is when you want to worry about your grade, not week 15. Because by the time week 15 rolls around, if you can't possibly catch up, you'll be taking this class again in the spring. So, that's the end of that. And then after that, I have our schedule. Your schedule is written on the back of the syllabus. There's a schedule in the syllabus folder. All the due dates are on here. So, for example, this week 1, you just go through that little British history PowerPoint slideshow. You take the quiz. I think I've got 20 questions. I can't remember exactly how many questions are on that quiz. They're all multiple choice. And your due date is Sunday, August 21st. So that's this coming Sunday. You can usually expect all these discussion board postings we do on Sundays. When it comes time for the research paper, the due dates may not always be on Sundays. I think I got like a Wednesday due date somewhere in there. Let's see. Yeah, the annotated bibliography for your research paper is not due on that Sunday. It's due on that Wednesday. So, again, it's written here in the schedule. It is also in the calendar on D2L, not the discussion posting due dates, because it's just understood that every Sunday night you'll have a posting due. but the research paper due dates and the exam due dates. So for the Victorian exam and for the Romanticism exam and all that, those are also not only written in here, but they are also written in the D12 calendar. So when you sign in, you look to your right-hand side, there's a column that has all the due dates, unless you've hidden that calendar. But they should be there. So that's it for the semester. I want to say that I am looking very much forward to seeing what you have to say about British literature. I'm hoping that by the end of the semester that you will understand why reading the work of some great masters and some of the historical works still apply today. Because there are going to be some things that are going to occur, especially now that we have an election coming up, a presidential election. All these debates that are going on in the United States Congress and on these so-called news networks and even on Facebook, they're not new. A lot of these debates are debates that have been going on for hundreds of years. So bear that in mind as well. So with that, I wish you well, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me or to drop by my office if you're in the Albany area, or call me during my office hours, which are at the top of the syllabus. And let's have a great semester.